Hello everyone, welcome to, Spirit Hunters Paranormal UK Paranormal Investigators now. We're going to go over what's been happening over the last 4 or 5 weeks. So first off, Shrewsbury, total waste of time. As you all know, we were going with Dark Shadows Paranormal. And I've got to say, I was disappointed, to say the least. We paid money. We even checked before booking if we can record and use our own equipment. And they said yes. And I've got it still on screenshots. When we got there, guess what? No. Or rather, yes, but you can't go into the good areas such as the cells or anything like that, which was annoying. So, Dark Shadows Paranormal, we will not be going with them again because I was really flipping disappointed. I nearly swore them. I apologise.
That's not what you wanted to say,
no.
Was it?
But, you know. So that's that. On another front, we have parted ways with one of our people we were going with. The simple reason is, one, at the end of the day, they kind of messed us around twice.
Let's put it blunt. They did mess us around twice. Not kind of. They did.
Yeah, and one time we even double checked that it was still on for that night, and they said yes, and we got dressed and everything, waited outside for them to pick us up, and they never turned up. So we parted ways with them. We made up with 2 people, Craig and Chris. I'm coming in a minute to something though, because it turns out that couple of years ago, when we were hanging around with Chris and Craig joined and we thought Craig was the problem, he actually wasn't the problem. The actual problem was Chris, because now Chris has got rid of Craig, me, Laurie, and it turns out that he was the troublemaker all along. And I've even apologized to Craig from the bottom of my heart because, you know, from our point of view, because we were going out with Chris at the time for hunts and stuff, that it was because Craig was the newbie coming on, that he was the one causing the problem. But it turns out it's the other way around. And it turns out it was Chris all along. I mean, this Chris has sent Craig some pretty damn disturbing messages. I'm not going to go into it unless Craig gives me full permission here in a minute. And he comments and says, yes, do it. But put it this way, I would never get in Chris's car again afterwards, after reading those messages. It is disturbing. So, yeah. So we're still going to go out with Craig and do some stuff. Probably have to do it locally because obviously me and Laurie don't drive. Craig doesn't drive yet. But to answer anyone like about the last 2 members who've gone, you know, Dave and Chris, we did offer them fuel money several times. We don't feel guilty here because we offered them fuel. I'm always happy to chip in with fuel. But the thing is, at the moment, obviously without a car, we have to rely on either public transport or something local that's within walking distance. For instance, Chapel Woods in Torquay, that's quite within walking distance. The trouble is with that place, in the summer, the druggies use it as a hangout spot to jump up with their needles, and that's not fun for anyone, especially if you go in with all cameras and stuff, and then you get there, and you know you can't do anything because they're there, so, and you can't exactly. You can't tell them to move because they'll bloody start getting violent.
I still would.
So, yeah, there's that. So, what we're going to do now, I've been actually speaking to Craig, funny enough, about doing an event up near Sheffield, I believe. It's a mine. He says he's been there. I mean, I shared a post on Facebook on my private profile, and I tagged him in there because I thought, hey, do you want to do this? And apparently he's been dreaming about this place. And his granddad used to work in this mine, so he's got a bit of a connection, so it should be interesting. That's for the 21st of October. Hopefully he can get time off. Hopefully. I pray. Because we'll go do that as a group and should be good. We've just paid for Gloucestershire Prison with Haunted Happenings, which we're doing early September, I believe. So hopefully that's good. Downside is, because of finances, I might have to cancel Warwick, which I'm a little annoyed with because it's quite an interesting castle, but it is what it is. We're all struggling right now, and, you know, there's not a lot anyone can do at this point. And finally, we come to the question of why the names changed, why the banners and profile picture changed. Couple of reasons. One, the original banner was created by someone I used to kick around with PSN for Spirit Hunters Torquay. I wasn't happy with it anyway. It was only going to be temporary until I learned how to create one. Me and Craig kind of collaborated with it, kind of not. He wanted one of the skulls. I had the green one, and we kind of spliced them together.
And you're probably wondering why Craig helped with it.
He's part of our team now. He's not an official admin yet. We've still got to talk about that another stage. That's for another time. But he is a team member now. As I say, all I can say to him is I apologise for bloody misjudging you. I mean, I've already tried to apologise to him in person and all that, and he seems all right with it, but we still feel bad because we misjudged. Won't be doing that in a hurry again. But we've collaborated with the image of splicing the two skulls together. Took absolutely hours, honestly. Ugh.
And then had to get my approval.
Then we had to get Laurie's approval because obviously she's a team member too. She's happy with it, so it's all good. Whew.
You were worried I wasn't going to be happy with it, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a little bit. So that's why we changed the name. Or changed the banner, I should say. We changed the name because we don't just go to Torquay now. We got outside of Torquay, you know. We've been, where have we been? We've been Shepton Mallet. We've been Shrewsbury Prison. Disappointing one, but there we go. Still out of Torquay. We've been outside of Bristol, Warmley Clock Tower. We've been Ford House in Newton Abbot. We've done other things as well. Barry Pomeroy. So having the name Torquay, it just didn't make sense anymore. Although we are still based in Torquay, there's no point having the name Torquay there if we're constantly going other places. So that's why I changed the name. And the other thing is, obviously, the other photo was only temporary. It was created in a rush. But I wanted to use my own image, and I created the banner myself, all to myself. I had collaboration with the profile image with Craig, which all went for approval by Babby, also known as Laurie. I call her Babby because she's my partner, but you'll call her Laurie. We are going to get some uniforms made at some point. It's on my list, but I'm trying to get the right stuff done, you know, what to go for. Do we go for fleeces? Do we go for hoodies? Do we go for t-shirts? What? And also, it's got to be reasonably priced and preferably decent quality because, obviously, let's be honest, some places overcharge for terrible quality of prints, so I've got to be careful. I've heard Vista Print is good, but they're charging quite a bit at the moment. They've got a deal on t-shirts, so I might just get the t-shirts for now and then get the other stuff later. I think that's what I might do. But then we've got to get, like, for the winter, windproof jackets. By the way, everyone's chipping in with this, who's team members. So me, Laurie, and Craig. We've already checked with him. He's happy to chip in. So I can't say no further than that.
The uniform's not just going to be for everyone either to purchase or use.
No, we will be making some support gear, if you will, later on. I've yet to design it because, honestly, between Laurie's health problems and hospital appointments and mine, I've just been so damn busy.
And if we do support staff, people obviously will have to purchase that. It won't be for free.
Yeah, it won't be for free, but it won't be expensive either. It'll be probably like, I don't know, say the hoodie costs us 23 quid to make, we'll probably charge 25 as an example. So we're only making a couple of pound profit on top because we're not greedy. So yeah, we've got all that in the making. Obviously, with us departing from Dave and Chris, and we no longer have access to a vehicle, we can't really plan 30 East Drive yet, which is annoying because I want to do that one.
Dave cocking that up.
As the missus says. We also wanted to do Pendle at some point, but again, can't do that for a minute.
You knew where that was.
So what we're going to have to wait until either Laurie gets on the road or Craig gets on the road.
I will be on the road in the next couple of years.
Or maybe I get on the road. I don't know. See what happens. And then we can do like Pendle and 30 East Drive. 30 East Drive is quite reasonable price as well, which is a real shame. It's only like £300 for 3 people.
Yeah, well, Dave cocked that up.
So, you know. We're also meant to be doing the Ancient Ram Inn with Craig as well. I need to speak to him about that, actually, to find out when that is happening. Because he's not really let us know.
Yes, we have done it ourselves.
Yeah.
But this is just to retry to see if we can pick up a bit more with 3 of us this time.
Yeah. We're going to have walkies on us anyway, so we keep in contact. We're all going to split up, all 3 of us.
Go to our own little bits.
But anyone who doesn't respond to a walkie-talkie communication, that will be immediate. Go up, find out what's going on, find out if everything's okay. I've not got it planned yet, but what I've got planned in my head, like, say, Laurie's in the bishop's room, Craig's in the witch's room, I'm downstairs in the barn. So we're all pretty close to each other.
Where's Craig in the witch's room?
I mean, I'm not going in the child's room in the ancient room. I mean, bugger that. I hate porcelain dolls. They give me the creeps.
Whereabouts is that one? Upstairs?
That's in the middle.
Oh, I'll deal with that then. I don't like porcelain dolls, but I still do it.
And also, then we can switch around, and then I'll go in the witch's room, Craig can go in the attic, and Laurie can go in the barn. You know, we switch it around, but we're going to be in constant contact with walkie-talkies for the ancient ramen for that part, because that way, if someone does not respond when we do a call out, like we do radio checks, whatever, and one person doesn't check in within like 50 seconds of them not checking in, we go to their location and make sure they're all right, obviously. So we're meant to be doing ancient ramen hopefully next year, but Craig's not exactly told me when he wants to do it.
And to be fair, Craig does work a lot. And
yeah, he does work full time. He's a bit overloaded at the moment, the poor bugger.
Doesn't pretend to work like some people that we've hung around with.
Yeah, don't mind me. So we're just waiting on that. Everything that happened with Craig, by the way, is all in the past. Because I'm going to tell the situation now. And we've heard this from Craig for the exact opposite. When we was going around with Chris was telling us that Craig was slagging us off, saying we're fake and all this crap and the other. But when Craig was going with Chris was saying we were slagging Craig off. So you can work out who the, excuse my language, shit stirrer was.
Don't swear on camera like you told me
That's
not to do.
the only word for it, isn't it? So yeah, so we've sorted things with Craig. We thought we did with Chris originally, but then he started a load of stuff, and I won't go into it until I have permission. But honestly, it's Dexter stuff, you know. We could have a serial killer on our hands, sort of thing, which is really worrying. We've been in his car on our own before now. Makes you wonder, would we end up in his boat? But I'm not going into that yet.
Just did it away.
I gave a little hint of what's going on to why we've had to distance from Chris. Yes, I know I'm live. Why does that tell me that now?
Oh, can you carry on doing the live rather than being on your phone?
So yeah, those are our little updates. We are going Gloucester in September this year. Hopefully Craig will be joining us. He's on a waiting list to join if someone drops out, but I don't know.
You have also forgotten some things.
Such as?
Why we fell out with Dave, taking over the group, blah, blah, blah.
Didn't I mention that?
No, you didn't mention that. You tried to say you were the group.
Lloyd's just reminded me of why we fell out with Dave. First of all, he messed us around twice to pick us up, never turned up. Used the excuse he fell asleep, which I don't really believe twice. Once is an accident, twice is on purpose kind of thing. Second of all, he had a moan at me and Laurie for posting about going to Shrewsbury Prison at the time.
Which was booked way
before he even came on the scene. Way before. He also tried to control the group. It's not his group. We let him join, but he was still in recruitment stage. You know, he wasn't a full-fledged member, but we were training him up.
So if he's told anyone who's watching this that is his group, no, it's not. He's lied to you. And if he's told anyone that we are his members, no, we are not his members. He was our member.
Yeah. I've covered Chris. I've covered Shrewsbury. I'm just checking people. Making up with Craig and Chris. Falling out with Chris. Chris turning out to be the new Dexter.
That he's brought on himself before anyone has him known.
Yeah. Dave and us departing ways. He did actually text me, but I totally ignored it and just blocked it because I'm like, I don't want the aggro.
Yeah, he's trying to cause a problem. Not silly.
Why the name group changed, why the banners have changed. I think we've covered pretty much everything. We've also covered what we're doing this year and next year. As I say, we've got Gloucestershire Prison in September. We're meant to have Warwick in late September, Warwick Castle. But because of money struggles our end, we might not be able to do it. Might not. I might message Haunted Happenings and see if they can change it to another date. Maybe sometime next year. Because honestly, we're struggling to make payments for like bills and stuff like that.
Truth in the matter is someone got really excited for the event and overbooked.
That was me. I got too excited. Never mind. Happens. We're still going to do Dover, which is in November. 1 second. Can we invite Craig for that or not?
You said it was a getaway as well.
Well, yeah, he'd go home, but we'd stay for a bit.
The answer was no, because we did discuss this and we said no, not for that one, because we'll sort of do something afterwards.
Okay. Right. I just check in with the missus. She's the boss. So we're going Dover, but we want to go back to Dover Castle at some point and bring along Craig, because once again, Dover Castle was booked before we made up with Craig anyway. So hopefully he understands it's our little romantic getaway afterwards. It's not just a bit paranormal.
You haven't got a choice to understand.
We're staying in a hotel for 4 or 5 days in a nice hotel with a sauna, jacuzzi, spa, you name it. And just having a bit of a relaxation.
Is that so?
Because, to be honest, the year we've had, both of us, honestly, I just want it to go away. It's just been non-stop stress.
Dover might be my last go there
Last go on what?
of doing paranormal stuff, because if anything worse happens, I won't be able to do it.
Well, let's cross that bridge when we come to it.
But at the moment, I'm alright doing it.
That's if your health condition gets worse. I'm not discussing what you want to ask. You ask her in the group on Facebook. I'm not saying bugger all.
No, because you're the one that gets the earache for it. Can you please not be silly, can you?
And I'm constantly getting indigestion, which is really annoying.
It's so silly.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. We also want to try and book a date for this one near Sheffield. It's a mine of some kind. It's only 35 quid. You can't grumble, really. But it's working out when Craig's got a break and when we can all travel up on the train together. We're all going to get a hotel together. Not in the same room, obviously.
Didn't sound right.
But we'll all stay in the same hotel. So after the event, we can all have a drink together, share our footage with each other. Be like, oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah. And so on. And then all go home together on the train and go like that. I don't know when that's going to happen. Hopefully October the 21st, but I've not booked it yet because obviously I've got money troubles. Really, I could do with a miracle, like someone gifts me a couple of grand, I'll be like, wow, thanks. I doubt it.
You dreaming?
Probably. Maybe if I dream it will happen. It's like they're saying only fools and horses. This time next year we'll be millionaires, Rodders. Probably won't be though. Sorry, well, you can't beat a good bit of classic comedy like Porridge or Only Fools and Horses, 40 Towers, but that's another story.
I'm not here to discuss comedies.
Another good one is In Sickness and in Health, but it's very, very...
It's very racist, so...
I wouldn't say it's that, because back in those days, that wasn't classed as that.
Yeah, but nowadays, with people of all races...
Nowadays, yeah, it would
then
be.
I suggest you don't watch it if you don't like the racism.
Mm-hmm. Privacy, yeah. So, yeah, that's that. I'm going to collaborate with Craig in a minute if he replies to my text. He was marshalling last night till 4 in the bloody morning, so he's probably in bed. When we're doing the ancient ramen, because you know we also meant to do Woodchester Mansion, but there's another issue involving Chris.
Yet again.
Involving the guy who's running that event.
Yet again, Chris.
So we don't know what's going on. We've not paid no money to it anyway, so it doesn't matter. If it goes, it blimmin' goes, and I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. But, you know, it's one of these things, you know. That's pretty much it. Can't think of anything. But yeah, stay tuned and you'll probably see more videos shortly. The last one was Shrewsbury Prison we uploaded. All we caught really was guard whistle, a very old-fashioned guard whistle being blown. Now, as far as I know, no one had one in that prison, as far as we know. So I want to put that down to paranormal, but I can't be 100% sure. Another thing is when Laurie disappeared. You've seen it in the video probably. She literally vanishes for about 2 or 3 minutes. And when she reappears, it's not like her, you know. She's very cold and things like that. I don't know how to describe it. You see it in her facial features. It doesn't look right. And she knew where the governor's office was, despite the fact she'd never been there. Freaky.
I didn't even look at the sign. Said you were in the governor's office now.
It's almost like she had a temporary possession. I mean, we know she's been possessed at blooming Oakhampton Castle, but this was like a temporary thing, I think, because she just vanished. I turned my back for literally 2 or 3 seconds. Whoosh, gone. I almost panicked.
Why did you panic?
Well, because you disappeared on a paranormal. It's scary.
I only I don't even know where I was.
God knows. This is why I want to do 2 camcorders. So you have a camcorder, I have a camcorder, Craig has a camcorder. And that way, we capture everyone's. And what it would be, because I discussed this with Craig as well, and from far as I can tell, he's happy for it to do this way. He gives me his memory card. I upload his footage for him, check it out because he works so long. I work out all the stuff that's there, anything paranormal, court, blah, 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 go through with it. I do the same thing I do with mine. I timestamp it, work out what's what, but it will be posted. Say the event is, I don't know, Barry Pomeroy, ghost hunt, such and such, Craig's cam with the date. And then my one will be Barry Pomeroy, ghost hunt with the date, Alex's cam. And then the same with Laurie's for when we get one for her.
Oh, well, I don't have a camera yet.
We don't have a camcorder for her yet, but we're trying to. Again, money issues.
I'm not sure if I trust myself with a camcorder.
I might give you a head cam because then you can't lose it.
I don't like things on my head.
I can't win.
So.
What about an arm cam like that? GoPro's
I
not
still
selling.
managed to fucking knock it. I will.
See, we do have one of these. The very small little cameras, which do take video.
Just my luck, I do that there.
And they do come in a headset case like
I do
that.
that, and I knock it into the wall.
So you have to imagine it. It's like that. If I can get it on my bloody head, I've got such a big head. So it's like that. It's almost like a mining lamp. So we could do that. It's an option. As a spare camera. But we'll see how it goes. But eventually we will have 3 cameras. We'll have mine, we'll have Laurie's, we'll have Craig's. At the moment, we just got mine. Craig's got a full spectrum camera, I believe. But I think he told me it's not capable of doing video as of yet. So we'll have to hold off on that one for a minute. But for now, I'll just record it. But as I say, he gives me his memory card. I check his footage for him. Catalogue everything. Anything paranormal, timestamped, just like I do with mine. And go from there. And then I do the same again for mine and Laurie's. So it'll all be done the same. You know, I'm not going to be skipping out. I'll still do it all for everyone. Because obviously, Laurie's not very well. She's got health conditions. Craig works like a madman. He works like 40 hours straight this week. Honestly, he needs a break. We went in the Mermaid Bar in Brixton to have a drink with him the other night.
That's quite pleasant in there,
It was quite nice. Quite funny as well, especially when he said about, someone asked him about the bubbles. Are they real bubbles, mate? He said, no, they're fake.
You always get one idiot. They are real bubbles.
They are real
always
bubbles.
Get one douchebag.
No. Yeah. But yeah, that's everything's been happening. That's our update for August.
There might be another update.
With any luck, you'll hear from us just before we go to Gloucestershire Prison. As I say, I'm hoping Craig can join us, but I can't guarantee it because he's on a waiting list to join. So if people drop out, miss a payment, then he might be able to join. Hopefully he can, because it should be a good one. It's quite a old prison, but we'll have to see. No promises. But in future, when we make bookings,
we'll be able to do it, the 3 of us.
We'll be making it for 3. Craig's already said he's happy to go whatever the cost for him is. So if it's like £90 per person, he's happy to pay £90 for himself. I'll pay my £90, Laurie will pay her £90, and so on and so forth. I mean, if it's that kind of money, I hope it's a castle at least. It's bad enough where some of the castles I'm paying for are like 130 in total. Oof, Jesus. Oh, but there we go. So that is it from me and Laurie at Spirit Hunters Paranormal UK. Paranormal Investigators.
I don't know why you say it's why I've barely been in the camera.
They can see you.
They can see me, but I've not been paying much attention.
I know.
I wasn't in the mood to look at it.
So, yeah. Until next time, stay safe and good hunting.